Alright. Hello boys and girls, welcome back to my one-handed streaming of Bannerlord Online, the mod, where thousands of players can enter the world of Coloradia and play with friends and not so friendly people. It is summer 2023, and it's been a very long while since there was an update in this mod. It was Christmas time, there was like an eco update, which has given me a bit of time to look around and check out the new monthly Patreon items, horses and horse armors. So I'll explain what the Patron item is if you're not aware. If you check your inventory, and for example this one-handed sword, the Immortal Khan's sword that my character has, is one of his 4 item slots. It has a diamond shape unique icon here, and that means the developers of the mod they have sold it in a monthly package. Once a month there's a package. So there is a helmet, there's a cape, there's a chest armor, gloves and boots, and then there is one bonus item. It's either a horse armor, or a weapon, or a shield. In this case we have a shield and a weapon, but whereas this light lance, it doesn't have a unique icon, or nor do the crossbow. There is one unique crossbow in the game. There's one unique one-handed sword. There's 3 shields, but there's like, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 different unique horses. So my character here, one of my characters, he has something called the noble step horse. It has a unique symbol, so it is a patron horse. I'm not going to be discussing other horses that are not patron, because there are better horses in the game. There are better horse armors than the patron ones. The advantage is if you cannot lose these, and they will not downgrade. Okay, very crazy boys changed name, the clan. So I'm wearing the Lord gold-plated horse armor on this character, and it only weighs 6. It's unique, so it's a patron item. It protects 40, so it's a little bit on the light side for a horse armor, but the weight is excellent. So this is a rather unique one, just because it has such low weight, and I would call it medium protection. It's not low protection, but it's certainly not high. I think what's the highest now? We can go in and check in the merchant stores. I'd say 76, 72 maybe is the highest. And but that's not a patron item. Patron items are 60 or 66. So you have to compare 40 to 60. That means you can get one that is 50% better protection, but they will weigh 30, they will weigh 50, they will weigh, no, yeah, wait. Yeah, they will weigh a lot more. Jesus, my brain just melted. Then we have another, that's a noble step horse. Here's another, this is the recent horse. It's one of the standard patron horses because it has speed 66 and maneuver 66. That is the normal patron horse. I would say there's let's say around 10 of these horses have come out over the months. So there's a bunch of these 66 horses. They will be referred to as 66 horses just because of this. What differs is a bit is the charge damage. There are a few horses with 20. They have mostly 300 hit points. Some of them have 310. This one has 320, and there's one with 330, which is probably the best horse in the game. So this is almost the best horse in the game. And this is the Southern Heavy Trotter. It came out a couple of days ago, this month. This is this month's bonus item. But the advantage of the Noble Step Horse is it's slower, 60. Well, that's bad, of course, but the maneuver is 70, and that's the top value. There is no horse more maneuverable than 70, and it has 20 charge damage. It's one of the 2 horses with charge damage 20. As far as I know, there are only 2 horses. So it's a bit light on the hit points. It is a bit slow for an elite patron horse, but it maneuvers, so it's very good with a one-handed weapon. And the low weight, as far as I know, what I've read is that weight only affects acceleration on a horse, so that when you're going faster. Whereas I am not sure about that. I'm trying to figure out by testing out different horses and different horse armors. I kind of feel I maneuver very well with this horse, maximum maneuver and low weight. And we're gonna start with the most maneuverable horse and have a combat. And yeah, it's not player versus player, of course, because I don't do that for the moment at least. But we're gonna go in a fairly, I mean, it's a fairly okay, decent challenge. Here's my four-legged referee. So we're gonna attack this 80 bandit leader outside Zeonica, the capital. I messed up a bit there. I was thinking about it. So here comes the enemy army, and now I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna stab this archer. See, I get very easy maneuver here. I can adjust. Oh, okay, I missed there. But trust me, this one is very easy to maneuver with. Okay, I missed again. I'm a bit afraid to go and use my 100 sword right there. I need to thin this army out before it shoots my arm to pieces. Did I get a shield wall up? Yeah, I have a shield wall going up there. So I like to take out the ranged troops that are spared out and death ball the infantry. They changed the way the AI works with infantry in the vanilla version not that long ago. Or was it in the mod, or both? Anyways, for now, ranged troops, they charge your army mindlessly, whereas infantry and melee troops do follow you around, so you can deathball them. Deathballing, if you don't know, if you're new to the mod, it means that you take a large bunch of infantry and they just follow you around, and you take them out one by one by nibbling at the edges of it. So, and your army will meanwhile shoot at them. I think most of their range is down. And that's the bandit leader, is it? Emariz is following me around. Okay, I missed there. Okay, let's talk about that. Look at the maneuverability. Left, right, left. Okay, I'm gonna... my speed... So let's see this acceleration. In any case, I feel 70 maneuver value doesn't explain how maneuverable this horse is. I think it feels like the horse armor. I'm gonna change it to another horse armor, and we're gonna compare it. So let me know what you think. You see, okay, my sword doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's quite easy to like line up and get in good hits. Oops, well, that was a good hit. So the one-handed sword is quite efficient with this setup. Of course, if you do looters, easier PvE content, okay, this works even better. These guys, if they hit you, it's gonna hurt. So you really should use a long pole arm like Romphalia or War Razor or something. So this is a showcase of how efficient what you could use. I wouldn't recommend this setup in player versus player, because your horse is a little bit too fragile. And of course, you wouldn't want to use a one-handed weapon. You use the same setup as like everyone else, the meta. But we're not going to talk about that today. Alright. But I think it gives you an opportunity to compare the maneuverability of the horse. With certain horses and certain horse armors, this is not possible. You can't do this death balling. Okay, I'm gonna drag him up here to my shield wall and my archers so we can finish this off. Because you don't want to watch me solo 80 infantry guys. But for example, on this character, I'm looking to improve my skill on one-handed weapons, because I need it to improve my skill levels. Okay, I missed. There we go. And we lost 0 opponents. and 3 wounded on an 80 stack with this horse, and we didn't die, and the horse wasn't damaged or injured, sorry. So now we're gonna go back and try out another horse setup. So I really enjoy playing with this. Even it might not be the best, it's certainly one of the best experiences, the Noble Steppe Horse and the Lordly Gold-plated horse armor. The Lordly Gold-plated horse armor is very, very old. I'm not even sure I played the mod when it was released as a Patron item, so it's old. Very old. Whereas this horse, Noble Steppe Horse, it's quite frequent. A couple of weeks / couple of months at the most. Sometimes during the last half year. So and it's only been one version that has a 70 maneuver, as far as I know, Patron horse. So if you enjoy, and they're not very expensive on the market. It's the speed. In player versus player, you cannot have lower speed than the maximum speed you can get on a Patron horse. So no one will ride this in PvP. So it's basically a useless horse for PvP. But for PvE, I find it enjoyable and good. Maybe the best PvE horse. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. I have 3 wounded, but I believe I can pick up another 80 stack. We might get a 50 stack. I mean 50 size bandit leader army to fight. The larger your army is, the higher the probability that you will get to fight an 80, which is a better loot. So I'm gonna turn this in for cash, and we're gonna grab another. Oh shit, we got a 50 stack. Okay, so this doesn't really. Oh, that's unfortunate, because fighting a 50 stack is a little bit different, to be honest. So thinking whether I should skip this, but no, I won't. This is. What I'll do is I'll put on. Here's a heavy noble horse. As you can see, it's a little bit slow, faster on 65. So since 66 is the standard, actually we're gonna go with the. Let's go with the normal horse. This one is gonna have 66, 66, so it's a little bit less maneuverable, it's faster, it has less charge damage, but we didn't charge and hit them with the horse. And it has more hit points, quite a lot more than 260, but if you compare, you should compare this to 300. If you go to the horse merchant in Zeonica, where most horses are, we can see here that the most expensive horse armor is the highest quality horse armor. It costs 5 million. It's old, very old. It weighs only 30. And it protects 60. So it has good horse armor. Not the best, which is 66 for a patron, but 30 is excellent weight. So I would actually say this might be worth the 5 point. I don't have 5 million, but you know, it's certainly a good armor. Then you have Great Rider's horse armor, which is the average. It weighs 50 and it has 66. It's not worth 4 million, because you can find this cheaper. You have the Eastern Guard horse armor. It weighs 45 and 66, which is the maximum protection, and at 10% less weight. Instead of 50, it's 45. So this is kind of like the second best weight protection ratio wise, but it's only 10% weight better than the average ones. And then you have the 50 weight and 66 horse armor, which is like the base. Even the Sumptuous, which is the Monarch pack. When you buy $100 support pack from the developers, you get the Sumptuous horse armor. It's very average. 50, 66, 50, 60. The unique Northern Exquisite horse harness, again 50, 66. So it's the good one with 66 armor. We have Northern Guard horse armor, 50, 60, average. Here we have our first non-patron horse armor. It weighs 135. But it protects 75. So if you want better horse armor protection than your Patron armors, go check out the non-Patron ones. They are better. Heavy Knight 56.6. Let's check the cheapest. The cheapest you can buy is the Eastern Reinforced Horseman's armor. It weighs 40, but it only protects 55. So if you want a little bit of a lighter armor, cheaper armor that protects between 10 and 20% less than the major normal regular horse armors of Patron class, you could go and grind together 2 million and buy it. Otherwise you can buy this lordly gold plated for 2 million as well. The first 60 horse armor, the regular, is the 2.1, which is a good price. It sounds like it's a lot of money, but you know, this used to cost more because there's so many on the market now. So I hope this overview gave you an idea of what horse armors there are in the game. This is quite a different horse armor. So we're gonna try out the Southern Heavy Trotter instead of the... And I have to pop into my clan hall and grab a horse armor. Because I deposited it in my clan hall earlier. There you go. And they are always at the bottom. So here's my... I use the Eastern Guard horse armor. I can't afford the very best, but you know, it weighs 5 less than the normal one. So I think you could consider this... Just think of this as their regular, normal Patron horse armor with what I consider the best horse. So this would be a very normal player versus player setup. So we're gonna try to observe the difference in maneuverability. Right, since it's a 50 stack, I'm not gonna bring my tier 5 elite troops. They can stay at home. And I'll just bring my crappy troops, my recruits, so to speak. Now we have to go and find the army. This is the setup I have played, and this is a setup I would recommend, and this is a setup I think most players play, so it's definitely the meta. It gives you a bit more maneuver survivability with 66 horse armor and 300 plus hit points, and it also has good maneuverability with 66. But I do believe it certainly feels like the added weight going up from 6 weight to 45 will affect the movement of the horse. Obviously, it's very hard to make an eye adjustment certification of the maneuverability of the horse. It's gonna be hard to tell. So I made a setup. We only have 1 cavalry. It's the bandit leader himself in a 50 stack. Death Star. So we got him fairly easily. I mean, this horse, it turns. It turns. Is it faster? I don't notice a lot different. But the maneuver, it's okay. It's okay. But you know, it's a bit sluggish here around the edges. Like, I want to turn in against the enemy army here and stab a bandit looter in the back. Sure, it's fine, but it's not that... It's a bit sluggish compared to the other previous setup. I guess the max speed, you notice it more when you have been running a long distance in the same direction. So you need to accelerate. Ooh, that was dangerous. I was almost chopped to pieces by a Mendelavion guy. Those pole swords they are using. Oh shit, what was that? Oh, an alliance. That makes my game tab out. I think that's a bug, everyone gets that. So your game, it doesn't crash, but you get thrown out into Windows for a second. And you have to pop back, tab back into the game. Can be very annoying. I survived luckily this time. So there we go. Okay, bit of a nice turn circle. But look, I missed all these guys. I think I could have hit them without their horse. Here again. So I have to take more death bowling circles around the army to actually use this horse and stab. Now, the 50 stack behaves differently than the 80 stack. And it behaves differently than a looter stack. It behaves differently than a Sea Raider stack. I'm talking about the AI enemies. So we're picking up some damage here. You have a lot more javelins in this stack than in the other, and they are very dangerous actually. So in a way, I consider a 50 stack more dangerous than a 50 stack. Also, it's nighttime, and I don't cheat and turn up the light on my monitor, so which might be stupid, but I missed him. So we need to be a bit careful here with our current hit points. One more hit and we're dead. And we're getting away very far from our main army, and I'm not gonna advance up with them because we are a bit interested in using... I could... If it was my horse that had low hit points, I could pick up one of my own horses. So we're gonna take down my army, put here in the valley, and move up the few archers that I have. Okay, we lost another companion there. So yeah, I might make another tutorial video about companions, how to equip them. I have been gathering up money and Patron items and put on them. So I have a bit of heavy cavalry for free, so to speak. Wait, what the hell? Is he just standing there? Oh, there comes one of my Patron guys, the horse. I don't have cav. I have Patron companions. Since they can't die, they're basically free heavy cavalry. Wait, okay, so let's try again. This guy also has a 100 sword. It's fine. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit harder. Not that much. I haven't really done this comparison myself. Okay, we're gonna charge. Definitely enjoyable, easy. You know, it's not as good as the best, most maneuverable setup. Well, that's to be expected, but this is still a very maneuverable setup. Low speed, it turns. Okay, so now this character is injured, so we're not going to be able to use him anymore. He needs to go to Zionic and refit. I still can improve a couple of my troops. Yeah, and also you see all my companions are dead and they only heal 13%, so it wouldn't be a good idea to use this character again for a fight. So we're just gonna log into another character, and I believe this one has the heaviest horse in the game, the largest and heaviest horse, and my last character has another charger with 20 charge damage, which is the heaviest charge attack, and it also weighs more. You know, that's another factor, the weight of the horse. I do believe it might influence the damage you do with your lance when you couch it. You take down your arm and shove it into the enemy from a galloping horse straight into their line. Right, so let's see what horse we got going here on this character. We have a heavy warhorse. So let's go through the stats of the heavy warhorse. We have 400 weight, which is a lot. We have speed 65. It's almost as fast as the modern new Patron horses, the 66 horses. But it has very much less maneuverability, 55 instead of 66. And even though it has 4 instead of 300 hit points, it only why this horse doesn't have 20 charge damage, which is the heaviest horse in the game. It's beyond my understanding. I would give it 25 because otherwise there's no reason to use it. But very often the developers' idea about stats on items doesn't. It's like they have a different mindset than I do. I want things to be balanced. They like things to be weird. So let's check out the damage output with 400 weight. Let's check out the maneuver 55. We are wielding a 50 weight armor this time. So it's not as heavy as some of the non-Patron armors, but it's definitely as heavy as your Patron armors goes, 50. I don't think there is a Patron armor that's heavier than this, but it's still normal because there's so many of them. There must have been, as I said, a dozen of those 50 weight armors out there. Right, I think we need to pop in and talk to the bandit. Let's hope we get an 80 stack. I think that's a better comparison value. Because the 50s are a bit messy and weird with the javelins flying around and random. So we got an 80 stack. Great, great, great. And again, we're using a shield and a 100 sword and a lance that can couch at a certain speed. To couch, put the lance under your arm. You need to press X and you need to go a certain speed. Some horses are so slow that you can't couch from them. You need to get a better horse. Alright, just gonna... Here's the 80 stack. Destor. No, Emaris is the name of the 80 stack leader. So if you want to know the name, the smallest stacks start with an A, and then in alphabetical order, the 50 medium stack comes down to A, B, C, D, Destor, and then the 80 stack, the largest, the last, is the A, B, C, D, E, Emaris. So they are in alphabetical orders. So if the bandit, no, if the guard commander asks you, do you want to do Emaris, you know it's an 80 stack. If it's Destor, it's a 50 stack. So you can tell beforehand how large they're gonna be. It never varies, the names. So. Well, we're not talking about bandit leaders, are we? But couch. Okay, we got him. 275. Oh, that feels pretty standard, that damage value. I'm gonna go here for the crossbow guys. Got one with 297. Okay, this horse, can you tell it's larger, bigger? You can if you go inside a Psionic, and if you see a guy on this horse, it's huge. 388 side trashing a looter. That's a giant damage number. 388. So I think this horse 248. Okay, I need to ask this. Oh, okay, we got company now. Because I'm not 100% sure that weight matters. Maybe weight matters for maneuverability. Because look at this turning circle. Look at it. It's so much worse than the others. Look. Can you tell how slow this... It's almost unplayable. It's fun because it's large. I guess if you play with a two-handed melee weapon, this could be a good horse. Because the looters couldn't even reach you, and they have 400 hit points to chew through. But for maneuver death bowling like this horse is not good. This is the slowest setup you can get, I believe. Oh, unless you put on a super heavy horse armor that's non-Patron, but we're not talking about that. And another thing I'm trying is that look at how slow he is at lowering the lance. I'm thinking maybe even... I don't know what affects that. Yeah, I'm probably talking out of my behind here. Oops, we got another player coming in. So we have two players joining. They often do that. Okay, we are using one-handed weapon on this character. So I find it a bit hard to actually hit with the one-handed weapon. So if a player joins your battle, you need to reset all the orders, which is kind of annoying. Many people are very annoyed with new players joining their battles. It's considered very rude, and I agree, but there's no way around it. So you just have to accept it. Usually they die after a while, and their army will start charging and suicide, because that 80 stack melee bunch is very strong. Be careful with it. Sometimes I mess up my orders the second time, and kind of makes maybe my archers to charge, and a bunch of them die, and that's the new player's fault. Annoying, right? Okay, I missed those guys. See how spread out they become now when we have company? Boom. So we get 4, 5, and 4 in charge damage. It's not a lot. 368 lance damage. Is he dead already? Just gonna go for these guys here. Yeah, look at all the red. That's his army charging. And the bad thing is now he has tricked this army here coming up towards my infantry line where I don't want them. So I need to stay around here. I wasn't talking about tactics in bandit leaders, but... Oh! He killed off the stack. So, if you... In conclusion, if you use the heavy horse, be prepared on some slow... I mean, I like the hit points, 400. I like the height. But it's definitely not as turnable as the other horses. Can you tell? Can you tell? Can you tell? Alright, so that's a summary. You don't have to watch the last horse, which is the Noble Charger. I'm just gonna show it for anyone, otherwise, see you in the next one, bye. This is not the best setup. The previous setup is the best setup when it comes to Patron horses. But we have one more setup to try that it differs from the other setups. And that's the last one I got prepared here. I think, let me check. My third character has the... It's one of two horses with 20 charge. It has decent values, but it used to be the only 20 charge horse. So when you breast with the horse chest on looters, or you deal more damage. Is it worth it? No, it's not. But if you're grinding horse riding XP and nothing else, maybe you just want to do as much damage as you can, and even charging makes a little bit of a difference. It's a heavy charger. Let's go through it. Ooh, you know what I see now? This guy weighs 540. I was under the impression that this was the smaller version of the large horse. It's not. The horse itself in the game is smaller than the other one I had before. That's the big horse. This is the medium-sized horse. But look at the weight, 540. I didn't realize that. And it has charge damage 20. Speed is almost normal at 65. We're not quite at 66. Maneuver is only 60 though. That is the bad. It's not 55 like the super large horse, but it's not 66 as the normal, and it's definitely not 70. Hit points 300 is normal. So this is kind of a... And here's the thing. You don't get any extra hit points. You get less maneuver for more charge damage and weight. And that is not a good fit. It's not a good trade. You'd rather have a southern heavy trotter with 66, 66. So we'll pop into town and we'll hope that we get a 80 stack from the guard commander bandit leader army to fight. And I'll show you. So this one should be... Wait, is this horse a little bit larger? Let me check. Let me compare this to... Is this... Am I lying and this is the large horse? Am I an idiot? This one is the large horse. My apologies. I might be mistaken, and I thought the other horse, the one with 55, was the heavy horse. Okay, so the only thing with the other horse is that it has 400 hit points. So why wouldn't this mega large horse with more weight and more charge damage has more hit points? Game balance issue. Okay, so that other one is just a strong horse. It's not bigger. So you see how large this horse is compared to others? You'd certainly feel very powerful riding around in town. My apologies. I was imagining things before, and I don't use these horses a lot. So that's my defense for not... I only knew one horse was large, and it's this one, the heavy charger. It's actually a noble horse. Excellent noble horse or something. And we got an Emaris 80 stack. Good. Let's go out and kill them. Hope I'll find them. They are patrolling from a little bit east of Tarkutis, and then they go up into the forest, and they come over here to Alsasos and hide out south of Alsasos. So they're within this circle here, inside the mountains, down almost to Unica Castle and back to Zeonica. That's the circle, oblong, that you want to examine. I don't see anything here. Are these guys hostile? Venom? They could be. There's two. Oh, there's one crazy guy. Crazy is usually not hostile. But Venom? Isn't that lucky snakes or something? Doesn't matter. Here comes the 80 bandit stack. They're up in the mountains. They're a bit hard to find up here, I have to be honest. That's one reason you get your scouting skill up, so you can find them quicker. That makes for better PvE grind result. The good thing about grinding bandit leaders is that I've done a lot of them, and I find them enjoyable still. I mean, it's not super fun, it's PvE, I know it well, but it's still good, fun PvE every time. You can die, your army can suffer massive injuries and lose permanently troops, which is bad for your economy. And your XP grind, I guess. Wow. Your troops steal experience from you, but anyway. I'm not at 200 riding. Maybe I should mention that. I'm above 150 on all characters, but I don't have 200 riding. And I don't know exactly what riding does, if it increases your maneuverability. But my characters are about the same riding. Right, so now we're gonna try out this beast, which has more maneuverability than the previous horse, the one with the 400 hit points, but it's bigger. And this one is faster as well. 11 damage delivered, charge damage. I'm gonna try to mow him down with 471, 11, 17 charge damage. The weight and the charge damage and the speed, it's just massive on this horse. I think I like, oh no, only 1 damage, just shot him. So the speed is good, but so this one has 60 turn circle, right? Yeah, and I still feel, and we're wearing a heavy regular Patron horse armor, I forgot to mention that. I still feel this setup isn't very enjoyable. Look at that. It feels so sluggish to turn. It's like, oh. Alright, sure, when you can hit them in a straight line like this. Oh. 319. Ooh, and I'm turning slowly. And I find that I press the buttons on my keyboard so hard when I play a horse like this. Oh, it's turning so sluggishly. And there we go. Nope. Wait, I missed that. Ah, you know, I think he died from an arrow just a millisecond before I hit him. Because I had the impact, but I didn't get the damage. I missed him. Ooh, it doesn't pick up speed easily, but oh, I got this guy, and I have to go where I'm using a two-handed sword here, apparently. Boom. Yeah, you get height advantage on this one, but this weapon is a little bit short. Oh, and it's so sluggish with acceleration. I don't like death balling with it. Ooh, I'm turning around so sluggishly. Yeah, definitely not the horse I prefer to use. It just feels more sluggish than its 60 maneuverability. Whether it's the horse armor, my riding skill, I think it's the weight. I think it's the... it feels like it's like 50 maneuverability, this horse. It doesn't turn well. So, but as long as you use it as a charger and just go in for lancing, charging with the lance, I guess you're okay with this horse. But at the end here now, when you're supposed to take care of the death ball with a two-handed polearm. But it's fun making 17 damage or 20 damage with a charge attack. I wonder if charge damage is the maximum amount of damage you can do with the charge. I don't know how it works, but 12 is the normal for Patron horse armors, and two horses got the 20. I wish they would maneuver a little bit more when they design the horses with the charge value. I wish charging was a little bit more dangerous, because certainly getting a 500 kilo horse in your face, that's gonna put a dent in your armor. So yeah, a bit weird, but I think, oh, he killed the horse. They only with the Menlavion, yeah, they do kill the horse. Let's find another horse then. It happens. Even though this is the heaviest Patron armor and it's a normal hit point 300 horse, our horse got chopped to pieces by the Menlavion. I'm glad I got to show you that. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, I got a 32 hit there. Ow! Oh, I got a 56 hit there. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to go back to my lance. Because next hit I'm dead. So you can take 3 hits from these guys with the armor. I'm using Patron armor. I mean, I could tell my army to charge, but I'd prefer, I'd like to show the horse in action more than I kill them as fast as possible. Yeah, it works fine as a lancing horse. It just takes a bit longer to line him up. Actually, quite a lot longer. Right, only one guy left. 2 guys left. There we go. We didn't suffer any permanent losses. And we gained 1 two-handed skill. But I think this is a great illustration of how the rare Patron horses behave in combat compared to the normal ones. The new normal 66 horses, they are better. They're faster, they're more maneuverable, they're smaller. Alright, so please let me know what you think. Do you even play Bannerlord Online? If not, hit me up inside the game. I'll help you out at the start, fix you a spot in my PvE guild clan. If you want to know more about Patron armor, if you know something that I don't know, like, oh, did you know there's a 30 charge horse, very rare from the start of the mod's existence? Yeah, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to support the mod, because there's very little online content. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, because Bannerlord Online mod has very little content online, especially tutorials like this. So please support the game and the developers. Buy patrons and like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.